Beautiful people, welcome back to another video. For those new here, my name is Peter. Some call me Pilot Pete. By profession, I am an airline pilot, currently a Boeing 767 first officer, and today I'm going to bring you along for a little journey, a week in my life, some flying, some hobbies, some passions, some New York City, some hanging out. If you want to come along for the ride, let's go do it. We're currently in Memphis, Tennessee. We flew in today from New York just to operate back to New York. We're going to Newark, New Jersey. It's going to be me, another pilot. We got a passenger on board and then a special passenger on board as well. Tune in to see who that is or what that may be. And then it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. Perfect trip for myself. Since I live in the New York, Newark area, we're gonna be having a layover at home. So if you wanna come along for the ride, Sunday, first day of the week, let's go do it. Just finished pre-flight in the 767. We got 2 hours and 50 minutes. Air traffic control routed us pretty far south, then go north up to Newark. And our special passenger on board, unfortunately, I won't be able to show you guys because I'm not allowed to show passengers on board without their consent. And I'm flying a very prestigious show pony. I asked her, I said, hey, you want to be on one of Pilot Pete's vlogs today? And she said, no shot. She's way too famous. Beautiful brown, has like a nice white stripe on her face or mane. I don't really know anything about horses, but she's really pretty. They're loading her up now. We're gonna take really good care of her though, I promise you that. Next stop is Newark, New Jersey. I'll see you at home. Made it to Newark, New Jersey, more specifically NYC. Walking back to my apartment. Long day, very long day. ATC was very, very crowded. The entire Northeast was swamped. We had that long route, but landed 2-2 left. The horsey applauded the captain and I, said thank you for the nice flight. And now it's 9:30 local time here in New York. Took almost an hour just to get into the city. Traffic getting through the tunnel, but I started a 34-hour layover here in my hometown, so gonna get to sleep in my own bed. So tomorrow you'll come along if you'd like for my layover adventures in NYC as an airline pilot. Good morning. Monday, 6:30. Set my alarm for 6. Only hit snooze twice. And then immediately into a cold shower. Pete, why do you do a cold shower? Been slacking a little bit, but normally I try to do it every single morning. It just wakes me up, helps me feel kind of a little refreshed. And honestly, the biggest reason I do it is because I win a small victory first thing in the morning. So something I learned, listen to podcasts and stuff. It's supposed to be good for your body, but the biggest reason is like I don't want to do it. I hate it. But it creates like a good habit to keep me pushing throughout the day. Nice little view of my living room apartment. We got 3 best airports in the world, undebatable. Not actually, but it means I'm home when I land in one of these, so happy to be there. I sell them on my website, pilotpete.fly airport maps. Check them out with the frames, without the frames. People seem to like them, so if you're interested in that. Now we're gonna make the bed. Another habit that we gotta do, we got some breakfast, and then we'll start our day. Layover, baby. Getting paid. Nothing better. Another thing that happens, I think I mentioned in my last vlog, but at 8 a.m. Eastern time, local, our sick calls from other pilots, drops, trades, all this stuff kind of goes into our open time, and that allows us to either pick it up, swap it, things like that. So an example is like on Thursday, I have a Newark trip with a back-end deadhead that I'm gonna do, but if I didn't want to, there's a Miami trip in there
so I could swap it out. So it's just like a way to kind of finesse our schedule. What we get is not necessarily exactly what we have to fly. We can kind of massage it a little bit. So there's different trips. I wanted to go to Panama, for example, instead of Newark, but this flight I don't want to do because it leaves at like 3 a.m. on the 9th. I have no interest in flying super early. Yeah, the layover in Panama is nice. It's like over 24 hours. Then you fly back at night. But this is a nice little trip for me because, yes, I have to commute to Memphis to get to start the trip because it starts in Memphis, but it's a back-end deadhead to Newark. So on Thursday, I'll literally, if the schedule stays as is, I'll jump seat out there a couple hours before the flight, fly back to Newark, and my trip's done, and I'm paid as if I was flying there and back. So not kind of too shabby, but that's pretty much what happens. Like I said, if I'm up, I'll try to manipulate the schedule. So these 2 trips just popped in. One to Cleveland, which I can't pick up because it'd be overlapping my Newark flight that I'm already on. So that's kind of what we do. Early mornings.
So I'm currently at the gym. We're doing the elliptical today. Just a nice hour instead of running because less than a month away from the New York City Marathon, but I got a bad knee and hamstring, so this is low impact. I'm talking to some runner friends of mine who are much more better at running than I am, completed multiple marathons, and they're like, hey, you gotta try to keep up your cardio in your zone 2 and your endurance. So I'm monitoring that, but low impact on the legs with the elliptical. So about 45 minutes into this, 15 more, and we'll scooter back home. Keeping the day going. So nice little layover at home, never does anyone bad. Good morning, Tuesday. It is currently almost 5:30 a.m. local. If you want to become an airline pilot, no, early morning wake-ups are going to be just part of the gig. My alarm went off at 4:35 in the morning. I was not a happy camper, but layover in the hometown was nice. I'm actually in an Uber right now on the way to the layover hotel that I don't stay at because I'd rather sleep in my own bed, to meet up with the captain, and then it's only about like a 10-minute drive from my apartment, not even, and then the company paid transportation will bring us to the Newark airport, so it obviously saves me a bunch of money, but they block that transportation time, meaning the amount of time they give us to get from the hotel to the ramp is like over an hour, and at this time, I mean, it's gonna take like less than 30 minutes, so it's gonna BS, a lot of sitting around when we get to the airport, but we just got one leg. We're going Newark, Memphis. It'll be my turn to fly. Gotta wake up a little bit more, and then once we get there, as of now, no trips. We're done for this trip, and then I'll work my way back home some way, somehow. So I'll see you guys at the ramp in Newark with the 767 ready to go. Beautiful people from the ramp out in Newark, New Jersey. Bright and early morning, 6:21 local. Our departure's until 7:30, but since we don't have to wait for any of you guys, our boxes are all loaded. They got here early on time. Take notes. The dispatcher said we could get out of here early, so just called the jump seater that we had. He's here early, which is nice for us. And then we'll get the airplane all set to go. We're flying Mr. Antonio today, and our next stop is Memphis. Get out of here an hour early, potentially. I mean, you can't beat that. So captain's done once we get to Memphis. I'm done. We figured, why the heck not? So gonna pre-flight this pretty little girl, and off to Memphis we shall go. Just landed in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm gonna go with a 9.4 out of 10. It was nice this morning, but gotta tell you about the incident that happened in Newark this morning. So we're taxiing northbound on taxiway Alpha to go to runway 22 left for departure. As we're taxiing, there's an Embraer 175 at one of the intersections. They had pulled up because they were trying to park their jet. Long story short, we were following a 737, and that airplane went right by the Embraer, the wingtip right past the Embraer's nose, no problem. Well, the 767's wingtips are longer and bigger than the 73, so we're starting to get close, taxiing next to the airplane. All of a sudden, captain starts to slow down. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't think we're gonna make this. So we stopped the airplane, and from there is when it got crazy. Air traffic control is like, hey, use caution. We think you're good though. And him and I are sitting there going, me and the captain are going, well, just because they say they think we're good, they're sitting in a tower from far away. We don't think we're good, even though we can't see our wingtips out the 767, but something just didn't feel right. So then we're talking to the Embraer on the radio going, hey guys, you can see our wingtip. Are we good? And their response was very didn't really confirm that we were good. Like, kind of unsettling. Yeah, we think you should be okay. We're like, well, that's not good enough to taxi past and have the potential of a disaster. Then a port authority truck pulls up and gives us like the international sign for it's okay. Like, you know, one of these, you got about like 3 or 4 feet. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, Cap, 3 or 4 feet that's not good. Like, we're not risking our careers by hitting another freaking airplane that's parked. There's no shot, because everything falls on us. Just because they say we're good, and they say we're good. If we hit it, it's all on us. I was like, I do not feel comfortable. There's no way. Let's get a wing walker out here, meaning stop the operation, have someone come out and literally walk underneath the airplane to give us the signal if we're good or not, because it just didn't feel right. And he agreed. He's like, no, F this, we're not doing it. So we had the parking brake set, and then Port Authority drives around again and goes, actually, no, we don't think you're good. So they radio back to Newark Tower and they go, hey, 767 is not going to make it. And ATC says to us, because they misheard, they go, okay, 76, you're good to keep taxiing. We're like, no. Ask him again. He said, we're not good. So like 4 or 5 times we're being told, you're good, or at least we think you're good. But for those young pilots out there that are coming up through the ranks, if you hit an airplane taxiing, like you're the one moving the airplane, you hit it, air traffic control doesn't get in trouble, the parked airplane doesn't get in trouble, the Port Authority doesn't get in trouble, even if they said you're good. It ended up falling on the pilot. So let that be a little lesson to, you know, you always got to cover yourself and be positive that it's okay. And it's also okay to ask for help, meaning get those wing walkers out there, get other people involved to kind of help solve the situation. So that incident, I don't want to call, nothing happened, but that little circumstance lasted like 12 minutes, just trying to figure out what airplane. Finally, since we were like nose to nose, the Embraer was able to kind of turn around on the taxiway, since they're a much smaller airplane, and they were able to keep going. So crisis averted, thankfully, and then the rest was non-excitement. 3-6 right, good landing, and great captain, and now I'm done. That ends the trip. Now it's my job as a commuter to get back. I'm going to, there's a couple flights to take. I'm actually going to go to the gym and get a little swim in here in Memphis. So let's go get a workout in, maybe a swim and a sauna sesh before we head home. All right, so my last vlog, I asked for some recommendations to eat healthy in Memphis. This was the #1 spot recommended, City Silo. So we're going to check it out. I appreciate you guys who wrote that. Thank you very, very much. Now I only hope it's good. So we're in the bathing suit. We're gonna grab some early lunch and then head to the gym to go swimming. Let's do it. All right, folks, my first City Silo meal, we went with a egg scrambled breakfast. And I'm not gonna lie, looking at the menu for next time for some lunch eats, this place looks pretty good. Excited to try it. City Silo, you might have just become my favorite place in Memphis. That was really, really good. Felt clean, felt healthy. We're gonna rock with it again. Just got to the gym, gonna do laps. I just gotta admit though, I know how to swim, but I have no idea how to do laps. My first time, I just did 3. I'm freaking gassed. I have no idea what I'm doing, but but let's get cardio. Clearly I'm out of breath. So I'm gonna do a couple laps in the pool here, and then I'm either gonna take the company jump seat at 3:30, or there's a passenger line at 2 o'clock to direct to LaGuardia with a bunch of open seats. So I might take that as my option. But we got a sauna here too. So pool, sauna before we head home back to New York. Figured a good way to burn some time. Now the real fun starts. Then heading home. Got my swim in, grabbed some lunch, and got a nice seat actually. We're in row 8, just short of first class. Non-stop service to LaGuardia. So for a free flight, I'll take it. As far as commuting goes, could have taken the company jump seat, but this gets me home like 2.5 hours early, and we get to enjoy some days off in New York. So let's go do it. Folks, we made it back. Good flight to LaGuardia, and then yeah, we're home. That's the negative of being a commuter. I've mentioned it once, mentioned it 100 times. I would prefer not to have to do it. It's my choice. The pros and cons. The pros for me are living in a city that I want to live in versus a city I don't want to live in. And the cons are obviously a bunch of wasted time sitting on a plane, but not much stress with my airline due to the fact that we get paid for kind of commutes and stuff. So I'm down in my lobby. They just said my package is delivered. Oh, here we go, we might have it here. It was indeed my Amazon package. I ordered a running water bottle with like a little strap, because for those new here, I'm running the NYC Marathon. It's it's like 3 weeks away. Very nervous, not that much prepared, but at least we got a water bottle to suck on, so we should be good with that. Ignore my apartment. It's an absolute mess right now. Yeah, but we only have one day at home because I got screwed. Folks. Well, what's this? I'm actually shipping this out today. Someone ordered, I sell those airport maps. We got an order for FSD, Sioux Falls, South Dakota? North Dakota. Sioux Falls, North Dakota, I believe. Yeah, North Dakota. Don't come at me, North Dakota. So someone's ordered that. That'll be shipped out today. It's a one-man show here. Doing all the packing and shipping, pain in my butt, but I appreciate the orders. No, seriously, I do. If you are interested in looking at them, pilotpetefly.com is where it's at. But back to my screw job. I had a trip tomorrow, or the next, whatever it was. Tomorrow was tomorrow. Yeah, I had a trip tomorrow to Deadhead, and then it ends in Newark. Long story short, a Europe trip popped up that I desperately wanted because I haven't flown over in Europe in forever, because you guys watch these vlogs. I'm doing mostly domestic right now with my seniority. So I rolled the dice. I had to drop my Newark Deadhead trip, put in for this Europe trip. Well, I didn't get, my drop got approved. I then quickly went for the Europe trip. That did not work out. Someone else snagged it before me. And then I said, oh, whoops, well, let me go back and get my Newark trip. Someone picked up that one. So double screw job. And then the only thing left over for me to grab was like a Omaha trip. So tomorrow I'm supposed to fly Memphis to Omaha with a back end Deadhead. The reason I don't love it, it's day flying, which I'm okay with. The reason I don't love it though is if all goes according to plan, I'm gonna have to now jump seat to Memphis, not get paid, operate Memphis to Omaha, get paid. And then if we're on time or if we're a little early, if we're on time, there's no chance I make it. But if we're like 20 minutes early, which I think we might be, hopefully, then I'll catch a company paid Deadhead back home a day early. So I'll Deadhead Omaha, Chicago, Newark, get in at like 1 a.m. So 4 legs, 3 are passengers, 1 is operating. I could have done a 2-leg trip, but we're staying positive. I just put on I guess we have a Facebook group I didn't even know about till literally today, where you can say, hey, 767 FOs, here's a trip, do you want it? So I threw it out there, hoping someone will take the bait, but it's not looking good. So get this out, then we gotta still hit a workout. Got the Yankees and the Mets on playoffs tonight, and then we gotta pack and we gotta go back to work. Never ends, folks, never ends. Good morning, beautiful people. Hectic day yesterday, just running errands, and feel like it'd be very entertaining to film. So put the phone down and got everything done we needed to get done. Workout, laundry, and shipped out some more airport maps. So thank you for those who are supporting me with that. And now the fun starts. Like I said yesterday, it's a long day today. We're doing one flying leg, but potentially 3 passenger legs. I'm gonna be deadheading, or I should say jump seating, to get to work on that 767 right there. And then we are operating later this afternoon, Memphis to Omaha. And that's the end of the trip, but I'm gonna try to catch a flight to Chicago O'Hare. It gets me to Newark at like 1 a.m. So fingers crossed we're on time or early and I can actually make that. TBD. And I thought I was going to be on the ETOBS plane and have a bunk to Memphis, but it doesn't look like I will be. I have nothing downloaded on my iPad, so this is going to be a very long and boring flight. Hopefully I can get some shut-eye. So let's go jump seat to Memphis. I'll see you guys there. Here in Memphis, and just check my schedule. Usually when I land, you got to go on the company website to like check into your sleep room and stuff. Long story short, I just got absolutely screwed by my company, screwed by scheduling. I was supposed to have this not so great trip, like I said, jump seat in, operate 1 leg to Omaha, and then be done with it, deadhead back, and I was gonna be able to get home tonight around like midnight, 1 a.m. At least be able to sleep in my own bed. Wasn't the worst thing in the world, but check my schedule, they revised it. Now I'm scheduled to operate Memphis to Salt Lake. That's the first bad part, because instead of having an hour and 10-minute flight to Omaha, I now have a 3-hour and 22-minute flight to Salt Lake. And it gets worse. They have me scheduled to go Memphis, Salt Lake, and do a turn and just come right back. So I'm literally flying like over 6.5 hours. I don't get back to Memphis now until 1 a.m., which means I have to get a hotel paid for by, yes, myself. And then I won't get home tomorrow until like, I want to sleep past like 3, 4, 5 p.m., possibly even later. So I had a Newark flight, changed to Omaha, changed to Salt Lake. Just bad is getting badder, and I'm not a happy camper. Unfortunately, I talked to a few pilots. I'm waiting for my union to call me back. I didn't even know this was legal for them to do, because they're completely changing the footprint of the trip. I was planning on operating just 1 leg, like I said today. Now I'm operating 2 and doing a PM out and back is what we call it here at my company. So yeah, this is the not so fun part. Gonna go blow off some steam in the gym, because like I said, I'm not a happy camper. So work out, get the anger and aggression out in the weight room, and in for a long, long night. Beautiful people from the ramp in Memphis. Still a little ticked off, part of the gig, especially at my company. The union got back to me. They said, yes, unfortunately, it is legal. I don't know how the heck it's legal for them to change me from 1 leg to Omaha. That was gonna be an hour and 10 minutes to now 6.5 hours of flying to Salt Lake and back. But it is, you gotta suck it up, stop being a baby, and get the job done. So just look over the flight plan with the captain. Smooth skies, clear skies, all the way out to Salt Lake City. It's gonna be my leg. And like I said, it's gonna be 3 hours, 22 minutes there. Things are just not going my way today, folks. But like I said, we'll stop whining and we'll get it done. Next stop is Salt Lake. All buttoned up, ready to go to Salt Lake. Just under 1,200 miles. But we discovered we had a little bit of a maintenance issue, duct leak, light, and ICAS message comes up. That's not something that's normally there. And since we haven't blocked out yet, we call maintenance. They're up here in a jiffy and they're working on the issue. So my long day is just getting longer. Nothing better. We made it to Salt Lake City, Utah, but I'm only halfway done, so I still gotta operate back. Long day, night flight. Pilot Pete is not a happy camper, but at least I got these views of this majestic Salt Lake Mountains at sunset. It was pretty cool landing runway 16 right all the way over there, and then we taxied all the way down over there and then up here into our parking spot 2. They actually switched our airplanes, so we landed with this girl and we're taking this girl back to Memphis. Why? No idea, but it just gives us extra work to do. We got a pre-flight, set up the flight deck all again. It just keeps getting better and better. Oh, and the catering they gave us, absolute no bueno. So yeah, very infrequently will you see me not enjoying a trip. This is definitely one of them, but it's making me smile because all these things are definitely first world problems for sure. 3 hours and like 10 minutes back to Memphis, and then the misery starts. Get a hotel, figure out my flight home tomorrow. It's a mindset though, right? When you think negative, everything happens negative. That's kind of what I'm doing now. So I'll stop moaning and complaining. I guess the moral of the story is, for those of you who are up in the ranks coming to the airlines, doesn't matter what airline you fly for, they own you. So even if you're scheduled to fly to Paris, they can say, nope, we're actually taking the airplane and you're going to San Diego, or you're going to El Paso, Texas. And that's every airline. Revisions, reroutes, just kind of how it is. It's not that normal. Just things obviously happen, right? They had to change this airplane. They were supposed to fly a 767 to Omaha. They made it an Airbus. I can't fly on the Airbus. I can only fly the 76. So this is, they call it a gauge change, equipment change. And this is why I'm here where I'm at. It is kind of a bummer. I don't do these out and back, especially as a commuter. So I think that's the biggest disappointment, is the hotel is now on me instead of having a hotel in Omaha or Salt Lake. But finishing up the pre-flight, 3 hours to go. I'll see you in Memphis. Made it to Memphis. Safe to say I'm exhausted. Long freaking day. And just found out the company would have had to pay for my hotel here in Memphis with all the changes if my duty day was 19 minutes longer. So I missed it by 19 minutes. But luckily, one of the pilots was able to give me a sleep room because I'm exhausted and he has to go fly. So we worked it out where I could get a little shut-eye, and my flight back home tomorrow isn't going to be till noon because I need to sleep. So good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good morning, beautiful people. A difference, a nice couple hours of sleep, vitamin D, and a change of mindset will do to the whole perspective. We're still not happy about what happened yesterday. Currently Friday, 9 a.m. I've been off the clock since midnight yesterday, but still in Memphis, waiting to get home. I won't be able to since I slept in, I needed sleep. I'm taking a noon flight direct to LaGuardia. Paid ticket, $700 for the ticket. Not my money though, comes out of the travel bank money that I have. So I won't be sweating that too much. But just stinks that I'm like kind of wasting a day right now in the base rather than being home, getting things done, being productive. So I go grab some breakfast, probably do a little stretching, maybe do a little walking on the treadmill just outside. It's so nice out here. And then we'll make our way over to the passenger terminal and get ourselves home. But yeah, I can't believe that. I thought, maybe a little bit of compassion, empathy. Hey, we screwed you. You were 19 minutes short per our contract to get a hotel paid for. So I ended up just getting that sleep room. That one pilot was super nice. It was like, hey man, just give him his. I had to go fly in 20 minutes anyway. I don't know where my car is. So it ended up working out We're alive, we're well. But yeah, that's the thing, right? With the airlines, any airline you fly for, all of them in the US, we have a contract, a CBA, collective bargaining agreement. Ours is from 2015. So whatever it says, that's the law. You know, you might not think it's fair, you might not like it, you might not agree with it, but it doesn't matter. It's written in black and white, and that's what the company's allowed to do and not allowed to do. So unfortunately for me, everything they did yesterday was legal, even though myself and the captain were not happy about it. It is what it is. It's what we signed into contract. Well, not me, I wasn't working here at the time, but it's what's in our contract, and that's what we do abide by. Now, some breakfast before the flight. Highly recommended Sunrise Cafe. It's a little small spot. Just ordered a chorizo bowl and a biscuit. Let's go feast. Here's the chorizo breakfast bowl and the biscuit. Bon appetit. If you haven't been to Sunrise Cafe and you're in Memphis, go. It is very, very good. Very good. Not the healthiest, but very delicious. So we're at the airport now. We got a confirmed seat. Headed to LaGuardia. Get home around 4. Again, not the greatest way to end the trip, but it is what it is. Oh, and exciting news. I know most of you have been waiting. Maybe probably no one, but I have. Our bid comes out today. So tonight at 5 p.m. I find out if I'm a 777 captain, if I'm staying on the 76. My bid preferences were all captain, wide body, and then 777. So there's some sketch stuff with our bid. Not sketchy, just it's not all seniority based, which is kind of BS. Another thing I'm not in love with here, but results will come. So when we land, we're back in New York, we'll get to reveal them together. So fingers crossed. Let's see what we get. CRJ 900. Never the best way for someone 6'4" to be traveling, but we'll make it work. Well, at least I'm getting to go home, right? At least I'm getting to go home. All right, we made it back to LaGuardia. We got the Mets and the Yankees in the playoffs still, so New York's going strong. But now the amazing part starts, trying to get home. Just looked at the traffic, over an hour to get back to my apartment to go freaking 8 miles. Ridiculous. Ubers were like $100. So, problem with LaGuardia, there's no trains back into the city. You gotta take a bus to the train station, and that can take like 30 minutes just to get that bus to the subway. It's a disastrous system, terribly made, but we'll get home eventually and call it a day. We made it back from LaGuardia, long freaking day, but we're home. And as promised, without further ado, here it is, folks. The system bid, final bid awards. Let's go find out what Pilot Pete got all at the same time. So we select final bid award. I'm gonna hit go. Oh, and there it is. You were awarded at Memphis 767, first officer at 65%. Not what we wanted, but everything happens for a reason. Honestly, this is kind of what I was expecting. Based on my seniority, I knew captain slot was like very, very a far dream, for lack of a better term. And then 777, actually my seniority can hold it. I could show you the bid pack. There's tons of pilots that were awarded the 777 as first officers in Memphis that are junior to me. It's because the way our bidding works here, very confusing, makes no sense, unlike any other airline. But yeah, I'll be stuck on the 767. As always though, if you have any questions, shoot me a DM on Instagram, pilotpete.fly. I get back to all of them. Just make sure you follow me first, because some of you have been sending me messages on TikTok, which I do not check at all. But the Instagram ones, I get back to everyone if you just give me a follow. You can, honestly, you can even unfollow me after. I'll have no idea, but I won't see the message unless you follow me. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the trip. This one was kind of all over the place. Still trying to find my rhythm with that. As always, take care, be well. I'll see you next time.